a vital component.
I'm gonna start with this water temperature gauge, but before I do any like deconstruction over there or tearing anything apart or even installing it, I'm gonna make sure it works. Because that is pretty vital when it comes to a thermometer. So with this little kit, it comes with a few different adapters for being able to screw into the thermostat housing. I believe there's a few different sizes and whatever you need, mounting brackets and whatnot. And then the most important part is obviously the probe and the gauge itself. So I'm gonna go put this in some boiling water, because boiling water is around like 200 degrees, I believe, and we'll see if it's accurate. Right here is the area of focus where you put the probe into the water. Now you do have to drain out some of the coolant before you take that out, because it's just gonna spew out and go everywhere. There's a drain plug somewhere. I don't know, maybe not. It's a weird British car, but so you unscrew that and then you screw the correct fitting probe attachment into there, and then it holds it into there. Then you just got to figure out where to run it. I want to go that way, but I think that may be too hard of an angle to go that way, so it may be going across there. I don't know, I'll figure it out. So I can't seem to find a drain plug on the radiator or anywhere in the coolant system, so I'm gonna end up just popping off a hose and then after further investigating, none of these would fit. I went and tried to make my own fitting, but that didn't work. The ones that came with the gauge didn't work. So I had to buy a separate package for an adapter, and this adapter, this is what fits onto the car, is an M16 by 1.5 thread. See all the way down, that's just because there's not enough threads into the thing, so I gotta put some thread sealant on there and on this side. And then I'm thinking I'm gonna run it that way via wire. You don't want any hard kinks. I mean, this is probably the most bend you want. And then I'm probably gonna run it through that way because that's the way the original OEM one went. And I'm gonna start taking out this gauge in here now. In here there's 4 screws that hold in the front of it, and then there's 2, I don't even know what those are. I believe there's screws as well that go in that way, but I couldn't seem to get them to pop out, so I ended up breaking this wooden piece, but it is what it is. I'm gonna end up making a whole new dash out of solid wood anyways. But this dash or this gauge is out, and I'm gonna see if the new one fits. It should. Yeah, that's gonna look way better, and I can actually tell what temperature the car is. Getting this thing ran how I would like it, it's gonna take a bit of work, but the work will be worth it. And I believe I can use the OEM light from the car, so I don't have to do some sort of weird wiring. I don't know if you guys can see it back there, but right up there is the weather seal, and I widened it a little bit, and I should be able to fit the probe through there. So after further examination, I took out the probe and then warmed it up, and then the gauge read in there, and it worked perfectly. So then I put it back in, and I thought it would work. Chances are no, of course. So then I stuck it in, but I took out the thermostat housing on top, and I can see that it goes in plenty far into the coolant. So now what I'm thinking is there was an air pocket in there not letting the coolant through, and it was just reading air temperature rather than coolant temperature. And I think that's the issue. So I'm gonna bleed the whole thermostat. I'm gonna put a new thermostat in anyways, but I'm gonna bleed the whole system, see if that works. Alright guys, after a lot of work, I was able to get it to start working. It's just barely starting to go up. But that is a good sign. Anyways guys, that's the end of this video. Hopefully you learned something from it. Don't forget to hit me with a subscribe or a like or whatever you want to give, comment. See you in the next one.